All right, guys. So another Sunday, another disappointing Sunday, I guess you should say. 3 out of the last 4 weeks, the Jaguars had matched up against teams with the same exact record as them. This week, we paired up with the Falcons. Both teams going into this game with a record of 5-9, and the Jaguars, they pretty much got dominated. I mean, the scoreboard doesn't show that, but the Jaguars lost 24-12, but at no point did this game really seem close. I mean, the Jaguars allowed an opening touchdown drive at the beginning of the game. It just drove right downfield, and then the next thing you know, the ensuing kickoff, Michael Walker fumbles, and they go for a touchdown after that. So we were down 14-0 before our offense even stepped out on the field. So the Jaguars dropped this one. Now they're 5-10. If you look around at some of the individual performances, quarterback play was not very good. Minshew was 13 for 31, 181 yards and a touchdown. No turnovers. Fournette, 15 rushes for 71 yards. Minshew actually added on 36 yards rushing. And, the receiving game, there wasn't much going on. Conley had a decent game. He had a pretty long touchdown, but he only had 56 yards on the day. Then other than that, set the valve, 45 yards. Leonard Fournette, 34 yards receiving. And then, other than that, the, biggest receiver game was Keelan Cole, who had 23 receiving yards. And, unfortunately, at this point in the season, man, I just want individual accolades. I want DJ Chark to get to 1,000 yards receiving this year, and he only had 2 receptions for 18 yards. So now he is 44 yards away from hitting the 1,000-yard mark. At this point next week, I'd be just force-feeding him the ball to try to get him to 1,000 yards. And you can tell he seemed to be playing hurt. I mean, he looked very frustrated out there, play after play. He was being covered pretty tightly, and it just wasn't the best game by him by any stretch. But at this point, man, I wasn't all that disappointed in this loss, just because I'm hearing reports out there everywhere that the Jaguars are thinking about keeping both Doug Marrone and Dave Caldwell, and I would completely advise against that. You know what I'm saying? I think we make these decisions too late. I think we gave Gus Bradley just a year too late, and seeing what's happened the last couple of years with just how bad the team has become down the stretch, I don't think we should keep Doug Marrone either. And I definitely don't think we should keep Dave Caldwell. I mean, this roster is crap, and the guy has 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years, and this guy's proven that he's not very good at choosing in the first round. I mean, this guy has really only hit on 2 first-round picks, that being Jalen Ramsey and Josh Allen. Other than that, there's just a bunch of misses like Luke Jokel, Blake Bortles, Taven Bryan. So it's just, it's tough, and I would just rather, if I were to keep one of the two between Dave Caldwell and Doug Marrone, I would keep Doug Marrone, just because I think he is a decent coach. I just think that we need somebody to shake things up, and I think we just need a new coaching staff in general. So, yeah. So I'm almost happy, I was seeing that, maybe the last 2 games will decide their fate. If that's so, I'd rather us just lose the last couple games. So, because, especially with the GM position, we need someone to come in here with a fresh perspective and really understand what we need to do with the roster and where we need to go with it. Because, at this point, I don't trust Dave Caldwell with quarterbacks anymore. This guy has, whether he's drafted or picked the wrong players with drafting Blake Bortles, giving him a big contract, then giving Nick Foles a big contract, and all while that was going on, you pass up on Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, as well as Lamar Jackson. Those guys are all pretty much top 5 quarterbacks that were right on our laps that we could have picked, but we didn't. So this is kind of more turning into a front office and head coaching thing. But man, this team just lacks juice, and I think we need a fresh start. Tom Coughlin, that was the key thing. We had to get him out of there. He's already out of there. That's done. But keeping Doug Marrone and Dave Caldwell, I think would be the wrong thing to do. So, those are some of the things there. We really didn't do. At this point, we just had to rebuild the trenches, I think. I don't think we're very good along that. I mean, the offensive line sucks, man. It's horrible. I mean, Cam Robinson, he just isn't it. I think we're gonna have to find a replacement for him. Um, I mean, the linebackers, I guess, did all right. I mean, we had a couple interceptions. Gerard Wilson got his first interception, and Trey Herndon tacked on another interception today. So I think that's 4 interceptions for Trey Herndon. So not a bad game for him. But I mean, overall, it's just I'm just so tired of watching this team, man. I mean, this game today was painful. We were bad on each side of the ball. I mean, it's like Gardner Minshew had a bad game, but it's like the offensive line, like, my God, it's just every time he draws back, they're just right back in his face. And, we spent draft capital and money on the offensive line. And it's just, I'm just repeating the same stuff. It's the same story, different week for us. We just got to get better. We really do. But yeah, I mean, the Jaguars right now, I think we're sitting at, let me see what we're sitting at. I guess we improved our draft spot. Jaguars 2020 draft order. Sorry, this is bad, as they say, bad radio. So the Jaguars now sit at number 7 draft spot, behind teams like Miami, Giants, Detroit. Cincinnati holds on to that number 1 spot. Cincinnati's clinched the number 1 overall spot. So at this point, we're playing for the draft. Of course, as we know, the Rams got knocked out of the playoffs yesterday, so we are locked in for a top 20 pick there. And I think the only way we can improve, I think we can move up to 19. Although I think what that would take is a Rams loss next week and potentially a Titans win. So we'll see about that. But the only way we can move up is to 19. But yeah, disappointing season, disappointing game. I'm going to be so excited once next week's game is over, so we can wash our hands of this season. That's 8 days away. It's just been a horrible season. The Jaguars, I think, besides 2017, ever since 2011, we've had double-digit loss seasons. Just horrible. We don't deserve this. But all right, guys, thanks for watching the video. Go Jaguars, and I'm out.